I think this is Agents Day. I think it's important to start with demystifying what agents are and the general concept around AI agents per se. When we think about AI agents in Web3, a lot of people tend to trigger the thought of, oh, there's like ChatGPT like LLM that is going to take my money, that is going to do things with it, that's going to hallucinate, I don't know what's happening, I need these guardrails, I need those guardrails. But in reality, agent itself operates on a wide range of spectrum. On one side, you have AI, there is like LLM and generative, and there's use cases for that where they can process intent, they can orchestrate, they can, dictate which specialized agents to trigger, but the actual financial execution, actual financial operation, actual capital optimization happens with agents that run on much smaller models that are 100% deterministic on algorithms that has to battle testing on traditional finance for decades and decades. So it's important to set the ground with the reality that not all agents are out there to get your money. These agents can actually help you perform better if used in the right way. If you implement the right intelligence at the right stack, you will get an entity that is working for you on your policies and is actually making you more and more profitable. And today we're going to talk about that. And Giza, we have been building this for 3 years or so. And we have currently around 10,000 users that has 10,000 agents. Those positions are fully automated. Those positions have yielded almost 2x return compared to steady positions in the past year. For those positions, we have executed more than 1 million financial decisions. These are not like tests that incentivize transactions I'm talking about. And those decisions are 100% profitable. So before we go into all this, I want you to know there are safe agents that are not out there to get you, and it will be very, very profitable for you to use them. Starting with like a base truth where today's financial workflows in Web3 are definitely broken. I think that's one thing we can all agree on. At Giza, what we do is we take a lifetime of financial workflows and we compress them into agents that will work on your behalf with your policies, making you more and more profitable every day. There's no doubt that DeFi is on hell of a base that we all need to operate on. Thousands of chains, hundreds of protocols, different collaterals, DPEX, buying that can right. And it has come to a point where as users, we're not able to handle all this complexity that the market gives us. We're not able to, digest vast amount of on-chain data and make split-second decisions. So it's definitely time for something new that is why we're here today. This is an example workflow that a user has to go through every time they need to get into a landing party collision, every time they need to create a yield opportunity. They need to understand the protocol, they need to sign thousands of transactions, they need to evaluate the market, they need to take costs into account, which we never do. They need to identify alpha. By the time they identify it, it's already gone. They need to take market positions into account, which we never do. And all of those things simply cannot be done by any fund, any DAO, any user today. Today, I think everybody in this room has suffered from this, has given some kind of tax to this. And we want to take all of this and turn into this. At Giza, we provide you with financial agents, and you can provide a high-level insight for it. And you can dictate the risk parameters, the health factors, the objectives that you want to set. And these agents will operate between those policies, will work for you 24/7, and will make you more and more profitable every day. It will give you time, they will give you wealth, they will give you maximization of two currencies of life that matters both. We turn your financial objectives into hard-coded logic that is persistent, that acts in autonomy, that acts unemotionally, and it is serving for you 24/7. If you continue to operate in manual way, you will 100% suffer a loss. Everybody in this room has, one way or another, either bought too early or sold too late,
I'm sure many of us depended on a decision maker, or many of us have been waiting for a multi-sig signer to come and do an execution for us. It's time to move on from this pyramid and go into a path where we're going to be able to be more profitable. At Giza, we encode all of this logic, taking into account that you set the parameters, you set your health factors, and the agents automate your finances until the end of time. There's one thing that we are extremely opinionated on when it comes to how finance should be ran. For us, finance should be personalized. If you zoom in from our little worlds in DeFi and Web3, there is a global trend in technology towards hyper-personalized agents. Hyper-personalized agents that run your life for you, hyper-personalized agents that, does your shopping for you. And we believe finance should be dictated in the segment. You get to decide how your finances should be because you have different views and different set of parameters that you want to work with. At Giza, we work with these 3 buckets. What do you want to bulk? You want to maximize your stablecoins? We'll have the best intelligent optimizer that will create a portfolio for you when you cannot imagine how your money should evolve. What are the APR parameters that you're looking for? What is your risk appetite? Are you fine with beating the US inflation by 5%, or are you looking for something riskier? You get evicted. And which contracts must never be violated? What are your red flags? Which collaterals you want to use? Which curators do you trust? Do you trust any? Which bodies do you want to deploy? Once you settle all these up, the agent will run this for you in a way that you will not be good for yourself. Because as humans, we have to sleep, we have to adapt conferences, we have to eat. Simply put, you cannot really beat a market that runs 24/7 with human capabilities and human reaction time. For the context of this week, we are very much Ethereum oriented. We deploy Ethereum because of the security, because of the liquidity, because of its reliability. But also, Ethereum is not just a chain, right? It is a community of innovators. If you want to push the boundaries, this is where you push it. We focus on stablecoins because for us, it makes a lot of sense to take the most critical asset class of today and pair it with the most critical technology of the day and build something at the intersection of it. So if you are looking for the answer to how do I invest in stablecoins, Giza is that answer that will automate everything for you. And we act as a autonomy layer for Ethereum-based capital. All of these things that I'm talking to you about today are not theory, are practical, are very much live. You can go to R1XYZ, you can create your own agent and it will start working for you and it will keep running for you. We have moved more than $3 billion in volume on Base, which are 100% they cannot test that on mainnet. Absolute capital that we have moved. We currently make up close to 5% of all activity on Base. That is autonomous agents taking financial decisions, moving your capital, rebalancing for you, de-risking for you, understanding where the best yield is for you. And last but not least, we have generated close to 120% more APR for our users compared to static positions. Having said that, no, we are not APR maxis. I think you all know the results of chasing APR blindly. It's important to find a balance. It's important to understand what humans are good at and what agents are great at. For me, every relationship maximizes potential when you let the other person do what they're best at. My wife is great at organization. I don't try to organize things at my house because it just leads to, problems where the organization is not done right, and then I'm constantly in conflict with my wife. It's the same thing with humans and markets. For decades, we thought that we would beat the markets, and for decades, we have suffered a loss over and over and over again. It's time to accept the fact that we are not profitable entities. We are emotional. We don't run 24/7. We don't have the capabilities that markets desire, but we are big orchestrators. We can dictate what we want to achieve and let the execution done by a greater entity who's much more capable than us. That's what Giza is built for. And thank you for coming and thank you for listening my talk. As I mentioned, there are agents you can trust. There are agents that is running capital today. There are agents that are positioned at the top of the funnel. That is optimizing financial decision making on behalf of users. This is very much real. It's very much happening, and we're quite excited for what comes next. Thank you.